Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Sunshine. He's in the yellow trunks, and he is playing Terran to the southeast of the Shakuras Plateau versus his opponent, Shodan, aka vOddy. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the southwest.
And Shakuras Plateau, the first one, loser picks after this from the map pool, which is Daybreak, Terminus, Antigua, Tal'Darim, Xel'Naga, Metal, and Shattered. Nice little map pool, and a lot of variety as well, a lot of big maps as well. And I would not be surprised to see the standard vOddy here, you know, going for that early hatchery is pretty standard against Terran. Early hatchery, spawning pool. On the other hand, Reactor Hellion is pretty good on this map.
Yep.
You don't want to overextend with Hellions though. 2 is pretty much it. You can go more than that, but nothing more than 4 the maximum, simply because the success rate of doing damage with Hellions on this map is bare minimal because of that natural area.
Yeah, the problem with the natural is you've got the very narrow ramp. The natural is extremely close to a reinforcement point here. The creep already spreads quite a way, and it's very easy to get ambushed, slammed against the cliff face, surrounded by lings, and then destroyed, which is not what you want at all. Sunshine building the barracks down near his ramp right here.
2 barracks play coming out.
Yeah,
indeed.
very much so. Yeah, that's. I was going to say it was going to indicate one of 2 things. Either he's going for very early wall off there for an expansion, or he's going to go for an aggressive double barracks opening.
I thought he was actually going to go for a 12-13, but instead built another SCV, and it's just leaving it on 1. And he has not taken the gases yet, as you can see. So what it's going to be is a bit of fake pressure. Well, not fake pressure, there's a little bit of pressure coming from it with a bunker into a very fast command center. Once the command center has been placed down, he will want to build barracks number 2, barracks number 3 to completely wall himself in on that natural ground.
Yeah, that's an interesting little maneuver right there. We'll see how vOddy reacts to it. vOddy is very much a veteran player of competitive games, not necessarily StarCraft, but not the kind of person to be easily rattled by such a thing.
What is this little SCV doing? I think it's going to be building the command center on the low ground to fake and kind of mess around with vOddy's head. It's going to kind of be like, all right, my command center's not down where it should be. What am I doing? When in reality, it's literally just going to be picked up and placed down. Though it's a bit kind of fancy play, I suppose you could say, a little bit fancy, because it hasn't achieved anything. The drone's gone. The drone didn't scout anything anyway. It wasn't looking to get that command center scout anyway, so it's a little bit weird to have it there, but we'll see. You know, just a little bit of fancy play.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive in and of itself that he's actually managed to hide a 40-foot high command center behind a set of bushes. Fairly impressive. You know, if he were playing hide and seek, for instance, I think he would be the galactic champion. But whatever the case, Sunshine looking in a reasonable state at the moment, still not taking any gas, now going into it, which is extremely common for Terran that are going down this particular tech path, and of course going for that very rapid expansion there. Second barracks coming in, looking for the 3rd to wall off after that, and in the meantime, vOddy's playing nice and safe, still hasn't taken gas. And actually, that's really quite late for vOddy right there.
I mean, he's built 8 lings, which is a lot. He was expecting 2 barracks play, 1 to be hidden possibly, and he's built the spine crawl as well. And so he's basically opted, all right, I'm not going to take gas. If we had seen similar play, but the thing is, he did scout there was no gas taken, so he knew there weren't going to be any Hellions out anytime soon, and he may just go ahead and take a really fast 3rd base from this as well, expecting his opponent. He's now seen a 2nd barracks, a bunker placed down, so he knows it's an expansion play. Does he want to stay on 2 base? If he does, he has to take all gases pretty much now, so he can go up to layer straight away. Otherwise, he should be expanding, so he can start to get that economic advantage, always being 1 base ahead of his opponent.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he plans on doing there. The fact that he also hasn't picked up a 3rd queen either, so he's not trying to aggressively spread creep outwards in order to join up a 3rd base. Can be very, very risky if you don't do that. So let's see if he does decide to take that gas. Still droning heavily. 1 gas, 2 gas, 3. There you go.
Yeah, he's only taken 3. He could take the 4th one, but he's just going to stay on 3 for now. And it looks like he doesn't want to take a 3rd base straight away. He's just now going to shoot up into layer. He's been mining gas from all 3, and he'll get 100 gas relatively fast, straight into layer, and then probably going into Mutalist play. And we'll want to take that 4th extractor very, very shortly. If he takes the 4th extractor now, he may be a little bit too low on mineral income, simply because all of a sudden he's got 35 drones across the board, and then 12 all of a sudden have to go into the gases, 3 respectively in each gas, which may hurt him a little bit, and he's now searching up for that. Meanwhile, over in the Terran base, we have the factory add-on and double gases straight away onto the natural as well. So it looks like we are going to be seeing mech play once again from Sunshine. He hasn't thrown down the extra factories yet, but they will be coming up very shortly.
Yeah, in previous games from Sunshine, we've actually seen quite a lot of Banshee play as well, which is a possibility since he has now put down the starport. That'll give him some options. He's going Blue Flame at the moment. We've seen this Hellion and Banshee play. Admittedly, the first time we saw it, it was very much a Hellion rush followed up by double starports and, of course, quad Banshee after that.
Oh, and actually, look at this. We do have vOddy going double Evolution Chamber. So instead of rushing straight for layer, straight for Mutalisk play, he's actually going to save the gas up and just go +1/+1. And then he's going to focus around being very macro heavy because he's got a macro hatch up already. He can take a third base soon as well, but be very heavy on units. The problem is, this style has to have a Roach One come into play eventually, simply because he's playing against mech. And we do have a Tech Lab actually onto the starport. I'm not sure if it'll stay on the starport for a Banshee. It may do a single Banshee then come off, or it might be lifted up so the factory can immediately start to produce from it. And it may just be for a Banshee. There is the Banshee on the way. And I wouldn't be surprised after the Banshee, a Medivac coming out, and then seeing this Blue Flame Hellion and a few Marine drop into the main base.
Yeah, I'm liking these sort of, I wouldn't say early game Banshees, are going into the early mid game for Sunshine. Just this occasional little bit of pressure they'll poke in there. It's actually going to work out quite well against vOddy right now, who doesn't really have a huge amount of defense against that. The Queens are very much at the front, trying to spread creep as aggressively as possible. And a massive amount of creep spread going on very, very rapidly here. It's kind of essential for this upgrade style. You need that mobility. You must have it because you're relying purely on lings for the time being. So creep is essential.
Well, the thing is, what creep does, it gives you time, because the first siege tank of a Terran player when pushing against a Zerg player will always be off creep. So depending on where the creep is on the map, depends when that first siege tank will obviously siege up. And if it's halfway across the map, that buys you like 2-3 extra rounds of units instead of sieging up on your natural, where it's like, oh crap, he's there, gotta go. So you buy this time to build up that army. We do have a single Banshee aiming towards his third base though. I don't think it's going to be able to achieve much because of these extra Queens in the Ceramat. Will be able to target it down relatively fast.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. And the creep is almost at that base anyway, so the Queens will be able to nail it down. 2 Queens enough to kill that. Hellions are moving in to follow this one. Blue Flame, of course, not all that effective against Queens, but he wants to move out at least. Maybe deny a drone transfer. Interesting.
Well, the thing is, these Hellions are in really good position because he didn't engage on creep, and they're going to... Oh, it's not the best position though.
It certainly could have been a lot better. I mean, he has killed a lot of lings. He's killed enough lings, I think, to justify going in there, so he's traded fairly well there. But still, I wouldn't expect this hatchery to go down. The Queen is now moving in, and a second Queen to back that one up. But yeah, as you said, that could have been a much better engagement.
And the late Spire coming down actually saved up a lot of gas, and bam, 12 Mutalisk now in the production tab, and that's gonna catch our Terran player a little bit off guard, because when you see this style, like, alright, let's play against this Ling Roach Infestor style, 2-2 upgrades are gonna be coming soon, so I'm probably gonna push before 2-2 hits of the Zerg player, and all of a sudden 30 Mutalisk are gonna come out, and if you're not scouting well, this can hurt. And I'm looking in the vision of our Terran player. He has no idea about this Spire, and I'm gonna see if vOddy is gonna kind of show the Mutalisk straight away, or if it's gonna be a kind of a surprise. Actually, the Banshee doesn't see it, and the Viking will finally spot it. I think no, he actually is gonna hide them. Nope, he's not gonna hide it.
Yep. Will he push, pull? Who knows? Whatever the case, now he has shown it, and I like the fact that he was really going heavy into the Mutalisk, so to the fact where he actually double extractor trick just to get them. So it just seems to me that he want to go right now and do the damage with it. He's able to clean up all the air units and bunch up in the center there. And of course, Thors are on the way. There are already 3 Thors, which does make this a little bit risky.
Yeah, there's going to be hardly any holes to actually poke in. Maybe be able to get a magic box because the other Thors aren't reacting.
That is a massive mistake, and that's certainly not a free Thor, but it did make him pay for that one. And I don't think that was deliberate there by Sunshine, but it worked out fairly well in his favor, trading 1 Thor for a large number of mutants. I think that's at least 5 or 6,
yeah,
which to me that's a good trade.
I mean, the thing is, like, he went to Magic Box, but at the same time, he clicked on the Thor because the turret was there. He wanted to get out as fast as possible. Rather than Magic Boxing, it takes a lot longer to kill, and he got hit by a big shot from the Thor, which you can see resulted in the damaged Mutalisk, which is not good for him whatsoever, because now the third base is so easily taken for the Terran play because the Mutalisk can't stop it. But at the same time, there's a lot of links here. We may see him crashing through.
Yeah, I don't see why not. That seems like a good idea. Those Marines are not upgraded at all. They have no stim and no shield, which is disastrous against +1/+1 links. And the Banelings coming crashing down. Down goes one Thor, and this third is going to get hit really hard. Those Hellions absolutely decimating most of the links, but it's not enough to stop the third from being denied. More Thor fire coming in. He wants to take another one, but from the back, that's devastating volley after volley. And vOddy's throwing away a lot of Mutalisks to make that happen.
He can afford it in a weird way at the moment to throw away units like that if he can prevent the third from going up, because he's taking a fourth base. Once he takes the gases on that fourth base as well, he's going to be in a fantastic position. The problem is that his overall composition, Ling Muta, does not work so well at all. I mean, we saw Idra lose, in the Asus Republic Gamers when he lost versus Show, and he asked me, why did I lose? And I said, dude, you're playing like you're playing against Bio, and we're seeing him very similar once again. And if he sticks on the same army composition, it's gonna make it a lot easier for Sunshine here to take a third, stabilize, take a fourth. So realistically, he needs to be taking up super fast to Hive, or at least switching over into a lot of Roaches.
Yeah, he's going to go for the third base again, and honestly, he can absolutely trash it. There's not a lot of Hellions there at all. Those Thors are particularly vulnerable to just being hit by a lot of Lings, and Sunshine does not have information about that army at the top. Pokes in there. He's actually drawn the Thors out of position. This is crucial for Showdown right here. He could have hit there, but he misses an opportunity and now moves around the flank.
Oh, I'm sneezing, sorry. I didn't actually hear or see anything that happened then.
Well, what basically happened is the Thors were drawn out of position to the left, and there was a possible move to just attack the Thors with the Lings. He would have easily destroyed them all, but he didn't do that. He decided to back off and continue to mass forces, which is certainly interesting. It's possible he's going to try and wait for +2/+2, but I don't think that Sunshine's going to let him do that.
The thing is, if he can get a critical amount of units and a good surround up, this is not a good engagement for vOddy here. But the Thors are clumped up, but it doesn't matter. Not good at all.
Easily annihilated. I don't know why he waited so long. He had opportunities. He is doing damage. He takes down a Thor, but still the majority of the Thors stay up, and there's Hellions being used as guard dogs, really, and doing extremely well in that regard. Huge amounts of Lings have been taken out. Units killed. You can just see that. It's a complete mess, but the most important bit of information is the amount of resources lost. You're seeing Sunshine play really efficiently here with his defense, whereas his opponent, not so much. And while his opponent does have a good economy, I mean, he's sitting on 95 drones, he can't just keep affording to throw gas away like that in the form of Banelings that do no damage.
The golden rule of playing Zerg, when you hit 200 supply, you go. And you have to, because you cannot let the Terran player, the Protoss player, whatever, catch up in terms of supply. You have to go. But do not go into a terrible ratio of losing units. I mean, the best scenario of going then probably would have been when he's trying to take a fourth base, a lot spread out rather than camped up on the third base. As we just saw, it was not a good trade for vOddy, but he's back up at 190 supply. He's gone for Neural Parasite and 7 Infestors. He's gonna try and just mind control the Thors and tanks as much as possible. And meanwhile, he is at Hive as well. Not quite started any Hive tech in terms of Ultralisk Cavern or Broodlords. The best combination right now would be going for those Broodlords ASAP.
Yeah, Sunshine doesn't really have an answer to a Broodlord tech at the moment. He is adding on another starport, so I would expect him to start pumping out Vikings at a fairly rapid rate, knowing that, at this stage, knowing my composition, Broodlords can be absolutely fatal to me. Now, you're noticing that Sunshine is trying to deny this creep, which is really fighting a losing battle. There are so many creep tumors, and the creep's already over halfway across the map. Sunshine pushing forward now, knowing that he's almost maxed. A large link out here, and here come the Infestors, a nice fungal growth on the side right there, and trying to move in as quickly as he can with the Lings. If he needs to annihilate those rapidly, so many Lings taken out right there. The Infestors run right into the center of that and die horribly. And while the tanks will go down, certainly, and indeed some Thors could be killed, that was still a very, very costly engagement there for vOddy. Do you think it was worth it?
Yeah, most definitely. The thing is, when you're playing against mech, you kill the army once, that is it. It's just going to come in small waves. And he's doing it so well that he's reinforced with another 80 or so links. Look at the minimap. Oh my god, there are so many links, and this small army in the center map's about to get crushed.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Very inefficient play, but effective nonetheless. It doesn't really matter. That's the swarm tactics coming into play right there, and vOddy absolutely annihilates the army in the center of the map. That Thor's wishing it stayed home today.
The problem is Sunshine is on top of his macro, 4th base up and running. He can start to work on a 5th base now as well as he starts to construct it. He's playing very, very well also. I'm having a look at his production facilities. It's a little bit low down. He's only at 6 factories. Each factory's queued up 2 or 3 units a single time. So he could work on better macro in terms of factory production.
Down.
And wow, and Nidus is coming down, but where is it? Into the main base, the bottom right of the main base, right by all the upgrades. If he can get cancellations on the vehicle plating, the +1 attack for the infantry as well, that would be good.
In come the links. They're able to stream out of there before the Nidus is killed. Will there be enough of them, however? Down goes the Nidus, and it is held there by Sunshine. A nice little maneuver by vOddy, but not quite enough.
And vOddy is looking really good right now. He's taken the base in the center of the map. He's stabilized that base too. That was important in that engagement, because once this map goes past the 20-minute mark, when it's 4 base versus 4 base, the back bases, the center bases for Zerg become so important to hold. And he has managed to do that. And he's got Ultralisk as well, so he's gone Ling, Infestor, and Ultralisk. And that is a good combination of units, and so well upgraded as well. Compared to these just 3-0 tanks, the Ultralisk are going to be at 5-3 so soon. And it looks like these units in the center map are not enough. They have to go. If they stay there, they will get crushed once again. And we do have the 5th base trying to be taken. A single Ling at the top right is denying it though.
What a pest, and is able to stop 1 missile turret going down. He could even stop the 2nd if he so desired. But whatever the case, those 2 Vikings have been a bit of a pain over there, just sniping off Overlords where they can, but they've not really done too much. And Sunshine just is trying to find a way in, and there doesn't really appear to be all that much of a weakness in the defenses of vOddy.
The tanks are on siege in the center.
Oh my, is that going to be enough? Infested Terrans coming down, raining down on Sunshine, and will be able to do some damage. The Lings to follow that one up. Vikings down for defense. I'm afraid that's not going to be enough as the Ultralisk try and continue to smash through. The thing is, there isn't actually a follow-up to this. Sunshine is able to hold on.
Yeah, he is able to hold on. The thing is, that wasn't the best engagement for vOddy. He could have waited a lot longer and then gone in with the upgrades as well. But, you know, you can argue the point of trying to wear down that Terran army again. Yep. And what I'd love to see is a bit of a tech switch here from Sunshine. Maybe even thinking about going into Cloak Banshees at this stage of the game. Cloak Banshees are so cost effective at this later stage of the game. You can start sniping these Infestors. They're great against these Ultralisks as well. We need to see at least Marauders coming out to start to combat this Ultralisk heavy combination.
Yeah, and he's continuing to build tanks at a large rate as well. He is starting to build 1 Marauder, but he doesn't really have the bags facility to do that. A Hellion run by comes in and toasts that mineral line, but it'll be easily cleaned up there by those Lings. And honestly, I don't think he's really worried. He's on 88 drones. He can afford to lose a few. Hell, that just frees up some supply for some more Ultras.
And we do have 3 Infestors that did manage to get their way to the top right. Infested Terrans out as well will start to do damage to this expansion. Probably not kill it, but it is holding it. And our Ultralisks are thumping their way through the center of the map.
Yeah, and he's just continuing to wear down his opponent. Sunshine playing very, very static. He's not able to get any real harassment in there. He is getting a medevac out, so he's perhaps considering starting to do some drops and take advantage of the spread out forces of the Zerg player right here. It's probably a good idea, but as you said before, I would like to see that as another Nidus worm coming down.
And that is into the main base once again, south left of the main base. You can see it now coming in, and there's nothing actually in the Nidus worm, unfortunately, so that was fail.
I don't know, it might be some kind of mana Nidus worm. It's just like, hey, cool, I've got a Nidus, isn't it awesome? There's perhaps a fake Nidus worm, because there's another one coming up to the top right here.
That is taken away as well.
Yeah, you don't put a Nidus worm down in front of the 4.
And
but
another
there's another Nidus worm coming down right in front of 3 tanks. I don't know, maybe you just got a lot of spare gas.
Indeed, they are actually expensive if you keep on doing that. You can see the resources, but 5 Broodlords are in the way, and that's going to be so good against this. There are only 3 Vikings out. 2 of them are the red and orange health ones on the left-hand side of the Zerg base, which are completely useless at this point in time. 2 Infestors still there. If they just save up energy right now, oh my god, the turrets, they're undetected right now. If they save up energy and just fungal growth, or at least infested Terran, you can see do a lot of damage to that mineral line. vOddy is harassing so well late game.
Yeah, and honestly, Sunshine's not being able to do anything in that regard. As I say that, he does go for it. The problem is there's really nothing mining from there anyway, and a huge drop. There's actually an Ultralisk. There's 2 Ultralisks in.
Oh, this is going to be funny.
Yes,
this is going to do a lot of damage onto these tanks. And he may even go to the top right, but vOddy all over the place. Oh, the Hellions at the top left get fungal growth and held down as well.
Oh my, oh my.
vOddy is crazy.
I think you know what's coming, by the way. The question is, which Overlord is the Ultra in? It's going to come down on this mineral line. In fact, there are 2 surprise Ultralisks, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the infamous Ultralisk drop harass.
I know, and it's like, what the hell? An Overlord, like an Ultralisk was in the Overlord?
How did it even fit? Nobody really knows, but there are now 2 Ultralisks in the mineral line, and that's no mineral line anymore. And in the meantime, down comes yet another force. vOddy smashing through the remainder of Sunshine's army, who I don't think really has any idea what to make of him right now.
Wow, and he's going to smash through this unsieged tank army as well. So many infested Terrans can come down. vOddy showcasing right now. He is playing so well and smashing through again. His resources are unbelievable. 9 Ultralisks on the way as well. And he has smashed this game, and he's playing so well.
vOddy's brought him a gift in the form of 2 Ultralisks, which will smash their way through that planetary fortress. Sunshine in pieces at the moment, as vOddy continues. Okay, we're going to build 10 Ultralisks at once. Okay, why not?
He's got the money to do so. He's got bases all over the map. There are a lot of Vikings coming down, but as soon as the Broodlords died, look at all these Vikings, which are completely useless. vOddy plays Zerg so well, tech switching a lot of the time to really keep the Terran guessing, forcing them down one way, then going the other way, using Nidus network all the time to harass. Ultralisk drops, Hydralisk dead in the making as well. He is actually using everything that Zerg has given him to use.
He's a Swiss Army knife, what can we say? Ooh, apparently the Festus reached the rank of Metamorph. I wasn't even aware that was a rank. There you go, that's, I think, 26 kills on that Infestor. Quite the reward there, and really, I don't even see what Sunshine can do. He's down to 77 supply, vOddy's at 182. And really, he can just continue to reinforce. He did lose this base up to the top here, but he does have a full mining base there, and one that's a somewhat oversaturated, one might say.
Yeah, a little bit drone heavy there.
Just
may need to transfer soon,
yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, he's got nowhere to transfer to, that's the funny part. But Ultralisks are now coming through the center. Good positional place on the top of the cliff there, realizing that's probably going to be pretty bad to engage there. And meanwhile, he's trying to stabilize. Sunshine is on top of it, though, getting these bases up at the north side, which is going to help out a lot. But at the same time, vOddy just has too many Ultralisks.
Well, that was the Overlord the Ultra was in, unfortunately. The problem is you can't really drop with that many Vikings over. Alternatively, you can just walk past the tanks into the natural. That also works. And a fungal growth. Oh, that's nasty. And I think this may be the end for Sunshine.
It may be indeed. I mean, I can't see how he can stop these 10 Ultralisks coming. He has a decent amount of tanks, but as soon as they get close, vOddy can easily turn around and just fight. He's going to lose all his production facilities now. The money's still high. The gas is a little bit low for vOddy. As we go past the 32-minute stage of this game, he is slipping a little bit on his macro, and especially on his bases, but I think he already knows that he's won this game, so he is slowing down a little bit and actually building Hydras, which I think is a little bit of a showcase because Hydras are never used in this matchup.
Yeah, they're not particularly good units, all things considered, especially when you have no range upgrades of any description. It's okay, he's going to blow up the extractor, or maybe not.
No, Broodlords are going to stop that, and the Vikings wish they never landed, because that would have probably helped them out a lot. Yes. And GG is called.
vOddy is actually insane.